Hello and welcome to this podcast edition of Sam's Alternatives with me, Sam. Episode 70. Shortly I'll be chained to Brisbane Alt rock band Tailor Made Rejects, who just released their single Face of Diversity only a week and a half ago. It feels like it's been out longer than that, but it's only been about 9 or 10 days since it dropped. Brand new releases since last episode: Solace, also Quiet Neighbours, Shadow Queen, YKL, Wave Drive, Dead Empire, Face to Foot, Perfect Blue, Scattered Limbs, Nervous Light, Wind Waker, The Ascended, Hail Freya, among other bands. Interviews coming up. We have Saturday the 2nd of May, Soul Sleep, Saturday the 9th of May, The Coogee, Saturday the 16th of May, Terry Trewern, 3RFM presenter. Saturday the 23rd of May is, of course, Unwanted Subject, and Tuesday the 2nd of June is 51st Avenue. So quite a few interviews coming up, all from different parts of Australia there too. We've got one from Albury, we've got one from Sydney, New Zealand, also Melbourne and Adelaide, so pretty much covered all bases there, haven't I? Gigs coming up, of course, Saturday the 2nd of May at the Workers' Club. It's Katana Cartel, Demon Head, and also King's Vengeance. Also the same night at the Bendigo Hotel, Go Gorilla, Wave Drive, and of course Destroy Fear. Then Sunday the 3rd of May at Shock Kickers, of course, that is Kegan, Roller Nova, and Forklift Assassins. And then we've got Ticked Off that's happening in June. I know that's a bit further in advance. That is at the Golden Vine Hotel in Bendigo. We have, of course, Tranquility Unknown, Space Goat, Suffer the Avenue, Total Buzzkill, also Ghost Seeker, Didactic, Russian Novel, Two Steps Forward, among other bands. So there's plenty of gigs happening, plenty of things happening as well. A lot of new releases, as mentioned, since last episode. My weekend's been pretty good. Just a quiet one. Obviously, Anzac Day yesterday, but work today. Work was pretty busy. And got a few things happening in the next few weeks. A lot of gigs, actually. 5 gigs at the moment, possibly more. Just have to wait and see about other commitments that come up, obviously. But lots happening. Love this band I'm about to interview as well. Face of Diversity has been on repeat quite a lot on my Spotify playlist, and I really enjoyed it. And I sort of got Older Bridge vibes with a Face of Adversity and also Alice in Chains. So it'll be interesting to talk to Tailor Made Rejects about Face of Adversity, among other things. Today also marks 6 years since I did my very first podcast episode back on April 26, 2020. Hard to believe it's been 6 years since I did my first episode. Honestly, sometimes it only feels like yesterday that I did my first episode, but no, it's 6 years to the day, and I've loved every minute of it. So much more happening in 2026 and beyond with the podcast over YouTube and WebEx, Zoom, etc. So it'll be very interesting to see what the next 12 to 18 months have coming up, because I'm intrigued. I'm along for the ride. I love it. You know, whatever comes my way, comes my way. But also I did a countdown of the top 300 most supportive bands and artists of the last 6 years of my podcast and what I do to support the local and live music scene. It is up on my newsfeed. I will not give away number one in case you haven't seen the list. It was a very tough countdown to put together because there have been so many bands that have been supportive of what I do, and it was very hard just to narrow it down to 300. Like, there's been countless bands and artists that have done so much in supporting what I do, whether it's jumping on a podcast for a chat, having a chat at a show, anything like that, sending through feedback. Like, it all means the world to me, and this is why I love what I do, is that I get to discover these bands like, you know, the Disgusts and the Total Buzzkills, the Alts, the Engraved, Space Goat, Heists, all these bands I've discovered through doing the podcast. Now, funnily enough, all 5 of those bands I have also interviewed on my podcast, and in some cases, multiple times. So, yeah, I just love what I do. So much awesome music out there. Where do you start, honestly? That's the way I'd look at it, because I actually sometimes have trouble keeping up with what's being released or what new bands are starting to develop and evolve in the local music scene. But yeah, I try to stay on top of it as much as possible. Obviously, it might be a day or two after a band releases a single sometimes where I post it on my newsfeed. 9 times out of 10, it's within 24 hours of the release. But of course, yeah, Tailor Made Rejects from Brisbane, alt rock band. They sound like Slash and Alice in Chains, Foo Fighters, and also Alter Bridge. You can definitely hear the influences in their music. But if you haven't checked them out, go and check them out, because their music is awesome. I'm loving it. As I said, Face of Adversity has been on repeat for like the last 9 days, pretty much, since it was released back on the 17th of April. So not the Friday just gone, but the one before it came out, and it is a banger. But yep, just in the lobby here, just waiting, just doing a recap since last episode. Always do that generally before the band jumps on, just so people know what's happening. Zak's in the lobby. I'll let Zak in, and we'll start this interview. Hello. Hello. Yep, my mic's actually working. It's a miracle.
Woo! Yeah. We were just like, let's test it a little bit and see what happens.
Well, you're perfect on your end. Like, I can clearly hear you. Visual is perfection. Like, can see you both clearly. So you've started off well there.
Woo!
Yeah, nailed it.
So Zak and Val?
Yes.
I knew it was Zak. I was just like, I don't want to get the person's name wrong at the start of the interview, because that would be embarrassing. But nice to meet you, Zak and Val.
Nice to meet you. No, it's good to get on.
Yep.
Yeah,
6 years have been doing this. You're the band on the 6-year milestone.
Yeah, it was a special one. And what, you're doing a 300 countdown? Was that it?
Yes, Tailor Made Rejects did make the countdown. 200 and... I need the list in front of me. 245, I think.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
So it's just, I've put the bands in, and then I'm going to put a Spotify playlist together tonight after this interview with the bands and the one song I choose. Now, Tailor Made Rejects, choosing one song is not going to be exactly that easy, to be honest. Because
we've got a lot of different sounds, I guess. Which what do you want in?
Oh, Jester and Ryan have joined us.
Woo! Can you hear us, Ryan?
How you going, Sam?
Good, thanks,
Hello.
Ryan.
Can you hear me?
Yourself? Yeah, I can hear you perfectly, Ryan. And
Awesome.
Jester's joined us. Hello, Jester.
How you doing?
What's up, lads?
All right. Well,
Woo!
I was going to say we're waiting on the other two, and the minute I was about to say that, Jester and Ryan turn up from Tailor Made Rejects. So
All you got to do is say our name 3 times in the mirror, and then we show up.
okay. Or is that maybe a Candyman thing? Because I'm a horror buff, and if you say Candyman 5 times in the mirror, he appears. So if I say Ryan 5 times, does that happen as well? Does it?
Look, my friends call me Candyman because I got a big belly, not because I appear when you say my name in the mirror.
Okay. Well, that sort of turned into something totally different than I was expecting. But if you haven't already picked up, Ryan, Jester, Val, and Zak are all 4 members of Brisbane alt rock band Tailor Made Rejects, which dropped Face of Adversity only a week and a half ago. I thought it was longer than that.
It was a long time coming. Yeah.
There's been a lot of build up. There's been a lot of build up for this song.
Because I love it. I've been spinning it on Spotify like at least once a day, maybe more. I don't know. I haven't looked at my count.
I'll see the stats.
But I'm
know.
getting a lot of vibes with Alter Bridge and Alice in Chains with this song, and I don't know if it's just me.
It's great you say that because one of my biggest inspirations is Miles Kennedy and Mark Tremonti. So I'm a big Alter Bridge fan. It's really cool that you called that out. I tend to take inspiration from a lot of things, and I'm sure we'll dive into it. But I think like we have such a diverse combination of inspirations in the band. But for Face of Adversity specifically, you can definitely hear that there's a heavy Alter Bridge kind of like feel to it. So yeah, good call out.
And I'm like you, Ron. I love Alter Bridge and anything Miles Kennedy does, whether it's with Slash, whether it's with Alter Bridge, it's just dynamite, really.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
But yeah, I just can't believe. I thought for some reason it was released last month, Face of Adversity. I don't know why. I think it's because there's been so much new music that's dropped in the last 10 days. It might feel like it's a bit longer.
I think our ramp to release was kind of big too. Like this one, we're now signed to X Music, so that was kind of a massive announcement for us. And I think with that, I think it's kind of like the pop of the Rejects right now is all happening at once. So it's kind of hard to pick the days when big things are happening because like it almost seems like every day big things are happening. So for us, it's like we're all very exhausted. We're very tired. We have been working our asses off. So work never ends.
Well, it shows. And if you haven't checked out Face of Adversity or any of Tailor Made Reject stuff, you've got to check it out after this interview. You just have to.
Oh yeah.
Or Ryan will appear in your mirror.
Yeah. Or I'll appear behind you and I'll suck a lollipop seductively.
So if I keep saying Ryan, he's just gonna appear. Well,
That's
he
right.
already has.
You're on 2 now. All right, you got 3 more, and then 3 more.
All right, you're gonna help me out, Jester, Zak, and Val, because I can't say that other name. Well, generally with this interview / chat, I've just dropped the interview. It's more of a chat. I want to get to know a bit more about Tailor Made Rejects and how the band came about, influences, among other things. And then at the very end, it's the reverse psychology. So, Ryan, that's 3 now. I'm in trouble. Jester, Val, and Zak have the floor. So the tables get turned on the
Gotcha.
interviewer.
Right.
Okay, Ryan.
Are you saying that you're doing that now, or are you doing that at the end of the interview?
It can be.
Conversation.
I'm not fussed. Like, I'm happy to answer questions through the interview at the end. Now, I'm not
For
really fussed.
For sure. So, what I wanted to know actually is, I feel like this is the first time I've gotten to like sort of see, like I've seen your name around in the scene a few times. How long have you been doing this? Is the first question, and secondly, who did you reach out to? It was like all of a sudden there was this interview that was coming up, and I was like, I can't remember saying that we were going to do it, and then it was going to happen, and I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Sounds like a good time.
So, for those that don't know, I was actually telling Zak and Val about this. It's 6 years to the day since I started podcasting, but it's only about 18 months since I started the YouTube channel. So, November 2024. I think Zak messaged me.
Yeah, I think I saw you had like openings up, and I was like, you had April available, and I was like, oh, I know we're about to drop Face Adversity around the 17th, and like that's before we had even announced the date for the song, and this was in like February or something like that. And I was like, I'm gonna jump on this now because I know when we get to it, it's gonna be gone. Like the day is gonna be gone.
And there it is. Yeah. Because I remember seeing it, like you did a post and it was like all the bands you're talking to, and I'm like, we're on there. I don't remember ever having that conversation. All right.
Whoops.
And you know what's really funny though? What I thought is like what I brought from that is the greatest sort of boss move, and maybe you should just try it. Is just link a bunch of bands that you're gonna talk to and just see who forgets they've committed to something, and just make them show up.
That's actually gold. I like that. And also, what would happen if one of the members saw it and didn't say they committed to it? They'd be on the phone to the other members of the band going, "Did you make me commit to this interview?"
Yep. And every time I say that to Zach, he's like, "Yep." Show up. No, happy to be here, man. Happy to be here.
No, I love chatting to anyone, and it doesn't mean chatting to bands in Melbourne. I'm happy to interview anyone. Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth.
So are you located down in Melbourne?
I'll say Melbourne's the closest capital city to where I live. So I'm in Gippsland, which is about 90 minutes out of Melbourne.
Right. I was born in Melbourne. I was born in Werribee in Melbourne.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Haven't been there for a while though. So slacking.
I've got to be honest, I haven't been to Werribee in ages either, and I live in the fucking same state.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a figment of our imagination.
That leads me to something else also. I just dropped an F-bomb. Swearing is actually all right on this. So.
Oh, thank fuck.
I didn't say it.
But no, I like being asked questions at the start, through the middle. It's just go with the flow. That's the way it is. I don't take myself too seriously. If I did, well, there would be issues.
Yeah. Every time we do
6
this.
years on.
Oh yeah, that's pretty valid.
That's right. Every time we do these interviews and we do like press stuff, I think we get a little bit further deeper into the weird side of the rejects. So, I mean, let's see how close to the core we can get, baby. Let's see how close to the core we can get.
Oh, well, the first question off the cab is probably the most asked question to any band in the scene is, how did Tailor Made Rejects come together as a band?
There's kind of a long version of that and a sort of a short version of that. And I have this problem with interviews where I tend to go and chat for way too long. We did this interview once that I didn't realize it was 20 minutes. It was just 20 minutes. That's all they gave us. And they asked us one question and I just answered that for 20 minutes. And so before I answer the question, I'm just going to ask preemptively, how long is this? Like, how long do you intend to talk to us for? And
I'm telling you right now, we're almost at the 5-minute mark. It's going to be a lot longer than 20 minutes. Right?
All right, thank God. Okay, all right. As long as I can answer it, like, would you like? Because I guess my question is, would you like me to pace through these questions fast for you, or would you like the proper explanation to your question?
I like a semi
all right.
answer. Like, yeah, I think I'd like to get to know, the stories and the answers to the questions instead of making you go boom, boom, boom. Questions done. That's
for sure. Yeah, and that's also to respect to the interviewer as well. As I don't want to like just go, oh yeah, we did this, we jammed out, we liked it, and then we moved on. Like I don't like doing that either, because our story is very complex. The Rejects does have a very complex story. We in the last like 5 to 6 years, we could write a book on the things that has happened to us. I guess I'll just sort of jump in from the start. So, I used to be in a band called Elena. And prior to Elena, I was in a band called Dark Relic with Jester, and which is another story in itself. But
yeah, that now actually adds to the origin story. Now that I think about it, with Jester in the band,
it's crazy because I used to start these questions with I used to be in a band called Elena, but now I feel like I have to also include Relic because Relic was the first band that I joined outside of high school, and that was with Jester. So Jester was the first person I worked with in kind of a professional way. But moving on, so after Dark Relic sort of like didn't work out, I joined a band called Elena that also didn't work out, and I think I was just trying to find people that weren't just passionate but also like knew how to hold me accountable in the right way. I can be kind of a diva, I can be kind of like, I can be sort of lazy in a way, but I'm also if my passion is channeled, I can get a lot of work done. So I just was really in need of a team that knew how to like work as a team, if that makes sense. And so my goal in building the Rejects initially was I'm going to get people that I know will be not only committed to the team, but committed to keeping each other accountable and holding each other to account. So Zig was one of the first. So Zig was one of the first I reached out to, if not the first person. So Zig and I were the original members that started the band.
I was at the time in a band called the Stone Fox, and I had like just came back to drumming as well. Probably I was like 6 months back in the drumming, maybe just to a year. And then you reached out on Twitter, by the way. I always want to add that because it's such a weird platform to send someone a message on. And he messaged me on Twitter asking me to be a part of the band, because at that point you were pretty much off most other social media except for Twitter for some reason.
I tend to have these diva crash outs where I'm like, I never want to talk to anyone again, and then I come back like immediately. I missed the attention. So yeah, I reached out on Twitter, and I think I did that because I was afraid that if you said, "Oh, look at this loser," I'd be like, "That wasn't even me, man. That was a fake account. I don't even use Twitter." Anyway, so so I got Zig on board. I had my my friend Nathan as well, who I'd been friends with for about 15 years. He ended up joining on bass. And then I was like, well, I kind of want to work with people I've never worked with before. And that's when we got our prior guitarist, Alex. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to save you a lot of headaches and a lot of boring talk and sort of fast forward to around the time that like Val had joined the band. And this is where the band really felt like it was sort of forming for the first time. So we as a band, you can say, oh, we've been a band for 5 years. What it really actually feels like is we've been a band for about 1 or 2. We've done a lot of amazing things in those 5 years that I think could be held as milestones in a music career. But not until Val joined the band did it start feeling like, okay, now we're starting to develop that team that I really was in desperate need of 5 years ago. And so things happened with our prior bass guitarist. It didn't work out, and Val joined the band, and it was only supposed to be a temporary thing. But Val was such a like perfect puzzle piece to the things that we were missing in that creative space, that it was like almost I feared every day that we were going to lose her to something else. So, I'll let Val talk about that.
At the time as well, like Val was still doing Chemical Prisoner, her band, which is how we met her. And then her guitarist and drummer left one time.
Yeah, for completely different reasons. Like drummer had a kid, like guitarist went off the rails, and just like everything felt like it was falling all at once. I was doing a lot of session work for people at that time as well, and I was just really like, what's happening? And then Rejects got the gig with was it Triffid? The gig?
I think so. We had some big shoot like things that we'd sorted out. We had some like big stuff that we were like, okay, we've got to commit to this. One of those being
show, we had a Mansfield show, like a rock beat suppression show. And then we had Dagfest lined up, and we had I think another Triffid show as well.
Yeah. And so these were with like really big like networking superstars. Like these were with promoters and bands at our level would only dream of being in the same room with. So we knew we had the obligation to not just ourselves in our career, but the commitments that we'd made as a team to follow through with that. So when Nathan had left the band, we'd asked Val to join, and Val had little to no time to like, okay, you're going from this sort of situation you're in with
2 weeks,
Kim. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're gonna get there, Jester. I know what Jester's thinking about right now. We're gonna get there. I can read his mind. But Val had about 2 weeks. Then we had her on a Triffid stage in front of like a sold out Triffid crowd. And that was a lot to put onto someone, and it was very much a trial by fire.
Ryan's stressing out, like, is she gonna cope? And I was like, I just paid like a festival to 3,000. I'm chill, man. Like we're good.
Yeah. I think a lot of early on with Val, it was like a lot of fear because she was just so great creatively and she was so great in the space that like I was so worried at all. It was like when you first get like, it's going to be such a stupid analogy, but when you first get a little kitten and you love it so much and you just kind of like you just kind of like want to like, you don't want to wreck it, you don't want to do anything to fucking fuck it up. You just like want that kid to be perfect. And it was just kind of like we had that fantastic creative relationship. And I was like, we got to put a world of hurt on you with this Triffid, with this. Are you going to be able to cope? And luckily, because I didn't know much about Val at the time, luckily she was already fully equipped to like handle more than we had thrown at her. So we were very lucky in both regards. So yeah, Val joined the band, and again, we're gonna fast forward through some of the boring stuff, but eventually, there was a point of contention with our prior guitarist, for a multitude of reasons. Ones we probably aren't going to talk about publicly, but publicly, what we'll say is he didn't, he wasn't a team player, and he wasn't a person that you could be in a business setting in for more than just a garage band. I think when it comes to taking yourself from like that garage space into like now you're in industry, now you're getting recognized by industry folk, this is not the type of person that you want representing your group. And respect to him and whatever he's doing now, but it just wasn't going to work out. So we made the decision as a team to move on from Alex, and that's when I reached out to Jester. Now Jester's been my friend.
Second time.
Yeah. So Jess has been my
Like-
friend for about 15 years, maybe more, 16. We were in a band in maybe 2011, 2012. We were literally kids at that time. But I'd reached out to Jester, and to be honest with you, it was like I really wish I'd reached out to Jester much sooner. And so Jester came in, and just like Val was just like that perfect. It was just like the first like breath of fresh air I've had in years. It was the exact same feeling. It was like you came in, Jess, and you just fucking crushed. You just knew exactly what we needed at the time. You were so attentive. And yeah, and much like Val had 2 weeks, we gave Jesse 1 week to learn everything and then get on the stage. So this was another trial by fire. And again, God's hand from the sky came down and was like, he's ready. He's fully equipped, because Jesse and I were working on another project because our prior guitarist had got us in such a contention spot. I really didn't know where the Rejects was going to go. And that's the honest truth. There was a time where I'd actually publicly stepped away from the limelight to just kind of focus on what I was going to do next. Risking my relationship with Ziggy, risking my relationship with Val. And then that's when I got in touch with Jesse. We started working on something else. And then around the time that I'd come back and decided, no, Rejects is definitely what I want to do, we made the decision to get rid of Alex, bring Jesse in, and we brought Face of Adversity from that other project we were doing, and we gave it to Ziggy and Val, and Ziggy and Val did the thing that they always do, which is just improve it tenfold, and it's the product you hear today. So that's kind of it. It's like I said, it's kind of a long story. There's a lot more detail to that, but it feels like, although we've been a band for 5 years, 6 years, it feels like we've only really been a band for 2, if that makes sense. Because now we have that dream team that I wanted from the very beginning. This is and always will be the Rejects, the people you see in front of you.
Yeah, and even when we did record Face of Adversity, like it was such a scarily smooth process from start to finish.
Yeah,
Like
it was night and day.
night
in the
and day.
studio. Like
Yeah,
so much like banter, playing around in the studio room, not just like get this done. Blah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was nice.
We were still done very quickly with recording, though. We got through and
Yeah.
smashed everything we needed to get done. Just everything. We all worked together really well, and yeah, it was really good process.
Well, it helps that you play guitar, Jesse, and it helps that you kind of like practice your parts and know all your parts and want to contribute to the team space. As much as bitter as that sounds, I genuinely mean that. It's like you really know how to like commit in ways that like we weren't used to. And you guys are right. There is this kind of like relationship that bands have very early on, especially in the first couple of years, where everything feels like a task. It feels like we are tasked to do this as a group, to show that we're committed to each other. For us now, what it is we have like a great catalog that we can lean on, and we have a business structure that we just work when we need to. So if we go, all right, the next 6 months of our life is going to be release, music video, this, we can just do that. We can just do that now. There's going to be no fights. There's not going to be any contention. We just have one meeting where we all agree on what the thing's going to be, and we just aim for the stars and we do it. And we haven't had that for 5 years. We now have the perfect team, that perfect team. So yeah, that's where we're at.
It's done.
Even like yesterday we actually recorded the video for Face Adversity, and going back to kind of what we're saying, like that was like a 4-hour shoot. We got so much footage, and I remember getting in the car, looking at Val, I'm like, that was really quick. Like that was really quick. It didn't feel strenuous. There was no arguments. It was straight to the point. We all knew what we wanted to do. We all knew what we needed to do, and it was like, oh, we're kind of done. What time is it? Oh, 4:45. We started at 1. Like with an hour of setup. Like
And it was actually Jesse. Surprisingly, Jesse's been in music videos for like, he's been in the music scene for like 15 years. First music video, and he crushed. By the way, everybody, I can't wait for you guys to see him in the video. I think we all did such an amazing job. Ziggy's right. Like we really just had like from start to finish, process. We just did it. We just locked in. And I think that's a credit to the way we work as a team for sure. And also a big shout out to Silent Step Media, Ryan, who like very much catered for the day and made sure that we were on track. So he really is like a god in that space, and he's still sort of coming up himself in that industry. So big shout out to Ryan and Silent Step Media for sure.
Nice. I love that story of how you all came together and like knowing Jesse for what 15 years. It's
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We were kids together. Like we came out of high school, and I mean we could have a whole 3-hour discussion on that. But I mean it could be much longer. But I'll shorten it down to Jesse took a shot on me when I was young in a way that I didn't really understand what I was doing in music, and sort of made me realize that I had a potential that has now led me to continue pursuing music for 15 years, and to now have that a relationship with him back in a creative space where it's not just like us two kind of leaning on each other because the band's falling apart. We now get to just flourish in this like amazing creative space, and we're not kids anymore. We've been through the shit, so it's just great. We get the best versions of ourselves now, which is just it's great.
Yeah.
And it's obviously showing with all the music you're creating. And I went back and listened to Afterthought today as well as Face of Adversity, because there's some people out there that just wing it and will just interview a band and not do any preparation before. But I think for me, I know this will come across as maybe a bit controversial. I think it's disrespectful not to do your research and listen to the music, because
100%
on anything, if you're curious about something, get curious.
Yeah, this seems like it's something that you're passionate about, Sam, and like it's not like an obligation. It's like Val says, it's a curiosity. It's like who are the people I'm speaking to? What do they think is awesome? Do I think it's cool? Let's ask some questions. I think that's great.
And the easiest way to do it, and this is any advice to anyone doing a podcast interview, is if you're doing a recap or preparation, that's the perfect time to listen to the band's music, because you're sort of in that mode. You're like getting ready to do the interview. Listen to the band's latest single, album, EP.
Yeah.
But also like the evolution of the band from from Self-Medicate to Face of Adversity. You can hear the difference in production and how we recorded it and the ideas we had, and then you can also hear the musicianship come through. And then we've obviously added of Val and Jesse. Like you can definitely hear the influence come through as well by 2 different new members, especially with Life Sucks with Val. She's kind of rewrote that whole bass line. And then Face of Adversity is very much like Jesse's influence, because obviously they wrote it before they joined the band. So when it gets to the solo of Face of Adversity, I'm really thinking like this is Jesse's introduction to the Reject fans of like, hey, this is me, this is my solo, this is my heart to you guys, and I hope you guys accept it. And to hear that kind of evolution is so important when you're interviewing bands, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it's that headspace that Ziggy's in. That's like you just kind of saw a little bit of like the piece of the puzzle that Ziggy is that he in the conversation is very much like, how do we create space to introduce somebody to the band or into a member? And like that's very much like, can we open this solo up more? Can I play a different way so we can bring the solo forward more? And that kind of also segues into kind of how we work as musicians, is that we don't really have I want more vocals here, more this, more whatever. We are all 4 of us are about what is the best product. And if, let's say, for example, I've got a part that is a singing part that could be better as a solo, that's brought up in the creative space, and we talk about that as a team. What are our pros and cons here? Do we do this as a singing, chanting part, or we do this as a solo? What's going to be more valuable? What's more valuable is that, having Jesse play a solo on the first song that he's in is probably going to be way more valuable than having me sing like I do on every other song. So it's very much like, this is the kind of like conversation we have behind closed doors about like the meta of the listening experience. Yeah.
Oh, it's a very, very well processed band.
Yeah.
We try.
Yeah.
We try.
Yeah.
Oh, how did you come up with the band name Tailor Made Rejects?
That's a really good one. I've been asked this a couple times, and I feel like the story changes every time because I just come up with whatever I think is funny or cool at the time. I'll give you an honest answer, genuinely. Like when I first thought about the true answer, there is a funny answer, there's a true answer. I'll give you the true answer. The true answer is it was actually initially supposed to be the Rhine Valley Project. I kind of just my head was bigger than the room. Thank God it's not.
That
I
is a
don't
joke
think
I
I'd have-
always love to bring up to Ryan. Is I always look at him and go, "I signed up for a solo project, not a full band." And
Yeah.
I'll walk away.
So as when I was talking about prior, I'd been in a couple of bands, and to my fault or to other people's fault or to the world around us fault, those bands didn't work out, and I was sick of getting my heart broken because anybody that knows anything about being in a production, anything being in like a professional team or whatever, where you're all relying on each other to show up. That can be heartbreaking if you do that together for 5-6 years and then fall apart. That can be literally like a breakup. You're never going to speak to these people again, and if you do, it is worse. Yeah, because not only do you love these people, but you won't ever have that relationship with them again. I'm not going to see you every Saturday for a jam. I'm not gonna rely when I write a cool riff. I'm not gonna send it to you because what's the point? Like that stuff is like it's like a real breakup. You start getting like PTSD in moments where you have like, oh, this is big. Oh yeah, that's right. We're not in a band anymore. I was sick of doing that. I was so sick of having heartbreak after heartbreak. So I was like, I want to create the Rhine Valley Project because that's something I could never quit. How can I ever quit something with my own name on it? It was just kind of like a no-brainer for me. I was like, let me create something that if I quit, the band has to quit. That's the end of it, kind of thing. I never want to have to get kicked out of something. I never want to quit, whatever. So that's when I approached Ziggy, Nathan, and Alex, and it was supposed to be the Rhine Valley Project. But when we got into the jam space, very clearly it was a band. And so I looked around the room, and even to this day, it still feels like this. It was very much like these are people that aren't valued the way they should be valued. These are undervalued people for the level of talent and level of musicianship and artistry that they give to the world. They're undervalued, and so that's what kind of came up. It was like these are people that are tailor-made to be rejected. They're tailor-made to have everything. They're tailor-made to meet every requirement possible and still get told no. And so we're the representation of that. And I think there's a huge market of people out in the world. 98% of people in the world are people that have worked really hard to watch someone else take the job they want. And so that's kind of what we represent. We represent those people. And so we do that through our music. We do that through our song name. That's essentially where we land as a band. Yeah.
Representing the Rejects.
Yeah. The people that are tailor-made. They show up in a suit and still get told no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest, I only know of one other band with Rejects in the name, and that's the All American Rejects. There's probably more out there with it in the title, but they're the only one off the top of my head at the moment that I can think of.
I will say that is the dream tour, though. The Rejects. All American Rejects and Tailor Made Rejects. Let's make it happen one day.
I think we're going to definitely have to manifest that one because it would be probably the best thing ever. It would be the best thing ever to have Rejects and Rejects. It'd be weird because then when we go out there, what's up, Rejects? We're literally talking to both bands' fans, So it's great. Yeah.
I also like the free name band, like 3 words in a band. There's not many out there. There's some that have more. There's some that are just the 2 or 1 name band. But yeah, the 3-word band I really admire.
It's so funny. It is actually really funny you bring that up because with Dark Relic it was 2, but it was kind of like a 2-word name and there were sort of short words. When I got into Elena, when we were making the name for my prior band Elena, we were like, we want it to be 1 word and we want it to be like the start to be an A, so it's right at the top of everyone's list and it's easy to say. That didn't matter. It literally didn't matter. It's like no one cared. So when it came to like doing Tailor Made Rejects, I was like, I'm gonna have a 46 name band. I don't give a shit how long the band name is. It's gonna be whatever I think is cool. And I'm glad we landed on Tailor Made Rejects because I feel like there's like a syncopacity to that, if that's the right word. It's like the Tailor Made Rejects rolls off the tongue really well, I think. So
yeah, we've been told as well. It's like that's a band name. Like,
yeah,
I think we were on Beer Buddy's podcast. I think it was his, and it was like Tailor Made Rejects. It's just a name. Like you can see it in lights, you can see it on posters, and he's like, I don't know how you came up with it. I don't know how anyone else has not came up with it, but it is such a name.
That's how we roll. We're geniuses. That's how we roll.
How did I come across the old Tailor Made Rejects?
It's a good question.
I think it was not long after Mondays was released. I don't know. I was just scrolling Spotify and there's the release radar or new release radar Friday, whatever it's called. And there were a few bands in it. I'm like, oh yeah, I know those bands. And then Mondays by Tailor Made Rejects. And I was sort of intense because I was sort of like, I'm drawn to this band with the name already without having listened to the song.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
Yeah.
So was Mondays like possibly the first song you listened to from us?
It probably was the first song.
God damn it. God damn it.
Glad you stuck around.
I'm so glad you stuck around. Famously, this is my least favorite song from the Rejects, but I say that in jest. Obviously, I love every Reject song we've done. We wouldn't have produced and released it if we didn't, but I do joke very heavily that Mondays is my least favorite because it feels like the silliest song we've done because of the kind of, I guess, the way it's structured. But that's kind of also where Jesse comes into the conversation because Jesse and I have had a really long conversation about it where Jesse's gone, why do you hate this song so much? It's really not that bad. And I'm like, it just doesn't feel Rejects. And he's like, here's everything about this song that is more Rejects than anything. And so Jesse's made me come to love that song a little bit more. But I'm glad that you listened to Mondays first and you stuck around. It's kind of like the perfect song. If you hate us for Mondays, then just you don't worry about listening to the rest. But if you like that sort of, it's only up from there. It's only up from there. So.
It's funny with Mondays.
To you, Ryan. Like we had that as a joke for like a year. I think you half wrote it one day, and we was in the jam room, and you're like Monday, and then so every single one of us, because we jam on Monday as well, we would say it every single time. So I understand that it's like
it's just playing in his head 24/7. He can't get away from it. It's like
and that was probably a year before we even recorded it, before we even finished it. And it was like, okay, now it's out, and I don't think any of us say Mondays.
Fucking hate Mondays.
So just recording it has gotten rid of that joke in the jam room.
Thank God. Right?
It's funny with Mondays though, because it might sound like very poppy. When you're actually playing it, the riffs in the song are actually fairly heavy riffs, and you're like, oh wow, this is surprising. If you don't have like Ryan doing a poppy singing over the top of it, and you just hear the instruments, you're like, oh, this is not what the song actually seems like the vibe of it is.
Yeah. And Jesse is also there peeling away a little bit about like, we do get questions sometimes about like, why do we do pop punk stuff? Why do we do heavy stuff with screaming? Why do we do rock stuff? And Jesse's kind of peeling it back a little bit behind the curtain there, is that everything is kind of rock stuff. I just have sort of like a role to play when it comes to making the vocals in which way we're going to send that song. So if you were to just remove the vocals, everything does line up to be a Rejects thing. And this was something that Jesse kind of showed me when he joined the band, which is crazy because after 5 years, it's something I never even thought of. But we had that conversation. It was very much like, if you remove the vocals from this is still very much a Reject sound. And you do that with any of the songs, they all line up. They all sound very much in the vein. It's just then you add the vocals to it. What sort of circus are you putting the audience through vocally? And so that kind of determines in which way, I guess, the genre of the song goes, I guess. But yeah, so really good call out there, Jesse, for sure.
Also, it wouldn't be Rejects without your voice, Ryan.
Thank you. Thanks, babe. Appreciate it. And you know what? And as cheesy as it sounds, it literally wouldn't be Rejects with any of us. I think all of us bring now a form of artistry and musicianship that just like would sorely be missing if any of us were to leave. And that is including Jesse now coming into the band. I think playing live, people are now starting to understand, oh, this is what we didn't realize what this was before. There are still people having that realization now 5 years on, and solely for the contribution of now Jesse joining the band. It's like, okay, now we're seeing the vision. Now we're seeing what you guys are doing, which is great. Of course, you have the cute dogs out. Of course, you
Hey,
brought the
look
cute
at
dogs.
us! Like,
So-
please give us some attention.
Yeah.
so they can be lap dogs.
Technically, there's 7 people on this WebEx chat.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
Jesse,
These guys are more important than
Ryan.
any of us.
Where's my cat? Where's my cat? I'm gonna
Oh,
out cute you guys.
crap.
Where's my cat?
I just said Ryan.
We're all
5
getting our
times
emotional
now.
support creatures.
Oh,
Jesse,
here
please.
I come. Here I come.
No,
You
shit,
had
this
it
is
right
like
there.
the
Sam,
boogeyman.
I'm showing up in your house tonight, buddy. It's over for you. You say my name 5 times. It's over. It's over.
Oh, crap. Yeah, all right.
Well, now
Yeah.
you're free. You can say it as much as you like.
It might get paranormal activity, like.
Yeah. Well, they called me paranormal fativity. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Do I
Paranormal
call you,
activity.
I might call you Mr. X from now, right?
All right, yeah.
Oh, nearly said it then.
Mr.
That's okay.
X.
You already said it. I'm showing up anyway.
All right. I'm creeped out by that. No, but 2
If you don't
dogs.
leave, yeah.
Yeah, these are our lads. This is Charlie,
Charlie,
me, and that's Glacier.
Glacier, and Charlie. Hello, Charlie and Glacier.
He's like, where's that sound coming from?
You're
Yeah.
probably thinking, who's this doofus on the other end of the WebEx meeting?
No, they're the therapy dogs. I think Ziggy and Val go home after a jam and be like, Ryan again, man. We got to talk about it. And the
Like,
dogs are
Charlie,
like,
save me.
we don't want to hear about this.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, I like that, Jesse. I like the rut-row. It sounded like Scooby-Doo, like
Yeah,
rut-row raggy. Oh, that was a
Yeah.
bad impersonation.
that's good. We like it.
Oh, all right. What has the overall response, even though it's been out only 9 days, for Face of Adversity?
I mean, I guess we can all
They're
speak
really
on this 'cause-
good.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, like, because obviously we played it at a couple of gigs prior. And our introduction gig that we brought Jesse in, we actually opened with it, I think, or we had it in, like, it was in some of the like earlier parts.
We first played it for the Lavidia show.
Yeah.
Because we were playing with Nathan, our old bassist, with his old band reformed, and we're like, cool, let's bring in the new one. Like, let's play it for Nathan.
He was
loving it.
Yeah.
It's like that heavier sort of style, and yeah, Lavidius is, I don't know, just metal as metal could be.
Dude, they're like a horde of elephants, dude. It's just a wall of sound that just rumbles through your entire bones, and like it's just the greatest. It's the
Yeah,
best.
Ribcage massage.
Yeah, ribcage massage.
I think they opened for Cradle of Filth. Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we brought it for that song.
Yeah.
And then since then, everyone's like, "The fuck is that?"
Oh my god, what was that one? I don't know that one. That's crazy.
And then yeah, now since it's been out, I think we've already got
Around
we
1K?
hit over 1,000
Yeah,
today or yesterday.
we cracked 1K, yeah, on Spotify. We've obviously got our stats across socials are somewhere in the 5K mark, but 1K for Spotify, and we're happy to crack that on Spotify. So we want to thank everybody that's listened to it, and that's including you, Sam. Thanks for checking it out. We appreciate that. This song is very special. I think we can all speak on it in how it's kind of like kind of influenced our lives since it came out, because building up to release, we got onto X Music, and so this song is brought to you by X Music, which is a huge deal. They kind of took us on, and it was also a conversation we had, which is, why is it now that are we getting recognition from labels and things now that we've formed this version of the band? It's because this is the true form of the band. This is the vision. And I'll keep referring to that because it feels like things are starting to fall into place because the right decisions are being made and the right people are held accountable. The right people are in that creative space, and now we're moving forward, which is great. There's only one way to move if you're ever going to go anywhere. It's moving forward, and so that's what Face of Adversity is. That's literally what the song is about. The song is about the shit we were going through, because we spoke about before how Jesse and I wrote it while I was sort of dealing with the trouble in the Rejects. The song is about the trouble in the Rejects that we were having at that time. It's like, are we going to die, or will our blisters dry in the face of adversity? That is literally a line we wrote on the commentary of the band at the time. And so to have that be our Phoenix song, the song we rebirth with, it's the best feeling in the world. It's literally the best feeling in the world. And so to have the positive response from everyone is a total bonus. It's totally a bonus because we were already just stoked to have such an amazing song out. Yeah.
Mm.
And also coming into like an established band, I was a little bit worried that my influence might not be positively taken by like fans of songs like Mondays, for example, because Face Adversity is a fair bit heavier in a few ways. But from everything that I've heard so far, everyone seems to be taking it quite well. So it's been great.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I think Ryan yesterday when we were doing music video, he used the word stadium-esque. I think like he described it like it sounds like a stadium song. You feel it in there, and it's like that's cool.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
good.
Because when we play it live, like when during that intro, like we have this kind of like intro for it on the record where it's like it's sort of radio, it builds up, and then there's that contention point where the whole band kicks in. The way we actually do that live is Val kind of slides into it on the bass, and Zig hits just like the hottest fucking crashes. So for me, it just sounds like an explosion going off. And then when I have that train of thought, I'm like, yeah, an explosion going off in front of 50,000 people at a stadium. It is Stadium X to me because not only is the song for me, we just perform it that way. We perform because it feels like it. You close your eyes and you're there. You're in front of 50,000 people. It's one of those songs, which is kind of rare when you're writing and when you're doing that. It's very rare to like not be hypercritical of the work that you're doing. This is one of very few songs that we've done where I can't really pull apart the things that I don't like because I kind of love the song exactly the way it is. This is also a shout out to our unsung hero, fifth member of the band, Chris Ross, who is our production guy. He works for a studio called Palpitation Studios. It's his studio, runs from his house. But when I say house, it's like an immaculate studio
It's a
setup. So
full-on studio.
it's a full-on studio. He just happens to have a bed there. And so,
Bed
and
old
so
partner.
yeah, a bed and maybe a wife. But so yeah, he just really is. Him and his wife are just the greatest people you'd ever meet. And you go there, it feels so homely. And every time we throw something at him, he just kind of gets it. And that's what I mean by he's the fifth member of the band. He just is a part of that conversation from start to finish with the song. He contributes perspective and creativity in a way that the four of us might be too interlocked in because we are in that tight creative space. He's able to come in as like a professional fifth member because I mean you hear outside of you play it for a friend and they go, oh man, that part kind of sucks, do this. It's a listening thing. Where when you give it to somebody like a producer like Chris, if they give you a perspective that feels like it's more coming from how can you market this better? How can this be better for the song? How can you make it more rejects? And that's what I love about the conversation with Chris. So big shout out to Chris too.
Well, shout out to Chris Ross, the fifth member of Tailor Made Rejects.
Love him.
Yeah, has his hand in every single song we've done so far, and probably will
All the rest
for
of
the
it.
rest of
Right.
them.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Kind of.
Yeah,
situation.
exactly.
Yeah.
I love
Something
that
weird.
saying. It's got to be up there with my favourite. If it
Yeah.
ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
There's another saying I live by, and I think it's good advice for anybody doing anything in life. It's the thing that got me out of like a slump. So we've all in our lives gone through big moments of depression where we've dealt with things. Some of us might still be dealing with things. In the hardest part of my life, I heard a phrase that really changed everything. And I feel like you have to be in the right frame of mind to understand the power of this phrase because it is quite a cliche phrase, but it does have a lot of power behind it. That phrase is progress over perfection. And I live by that. I tattoo that on my forehead, on my chest. I think progress over perfection is such an important thing to carry with us because the idea of perfection is a perspective that everybody has. Everybody has their own perspective of what perfect can be. And if you get to whatever somebody else thinks perfect is, they're only ever just going to be jealous of you because they're not there as well. So it really comes down to progress over perfection. Always put progress over perfection, if that makes sense. We need to be moving forward, and the only people we're going to compare ourselves to is our last song. That's the only the next song we do is the only comparison we're going to have is not, oh, what about this band? Oh, this band's doing this. Fuck all that nonsense. Is it better than our last song? Does it do more to move the conversation forward for the rejects in the last song? That's progress over perfection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something we do as well when we like write songs is go, where in the sets is gonna fit? Is this gonna make it to live set? But also, we've got our 5 original songs, and we go, okay, this is the new Hurt People, new Fading or new Ghost or something like that, and we always kind of compare to those and stick to that weird formula we have. And then now it's like, okay, Hurt People is a very heavy song. Face of Verses kind of fit in that window, but then a lot of people said it's a little bit more like Inspiraled. Okay, it's like the next Inspiraled, so we kind of slot them into the next ones that kind of branch out, and kind of helps us as well when we write the set. We go, okay, if we can't have Stronger and High Speed Love next to each other because they're quite similar, so we now need to like spread them out. So you got 2 moments where it's like, oh, really just driving forward and really heavy. And then having 2 heavy songs right off the bat is like, oh, might get a bit weird when you then flip to the pop punk line. So we really pride ourselves on like setting the set out well, but also writing these songs to go, how would they sound on the record, and then how would they sound live, and how do we elevate both experiences?
Yeah. I mean, that's so important too. And that's why you'll never hear a Rejects album that just has one form of like rock on it. You know, we're always gonna go, okay, we've done this already. And the great comparison is Stronger to High Speed Love. Those songs, although very different, are the same when you talk about energy. And a lot of the times in the conversation in the jam room, when we say 2 songs are the same, we don't mean they sound anything alike. And to the untrained ear, they're like, how are they the same? It's because we played both of those songs live and the crowd energy is the same. So when we play Stronger and when we play High Speed Love, the energy we get is the same. When we play a really heavy song, the energy is different. So how do we send the fans and the people, the audience, on kind of a roller coaster of up and downs to keep them engaged with the live sound? So just a really great call out there, Zig, for sure. That's kind of exactly what we do, and kind of to echo what I was saying before, is that we don't compare ourselves to other bands. And if we could give advice to any other band out there listening, stop comparing yourself to the big thing that's happening right now. If you want to fill that niche and if you want to sort of kind of take from that audience and have them look your way for a moment, fair enough. But those bands have fans for a reason, because they're breaking new ground. They're doing something different, and you're more than welcome to follow in the footsteps. You'll only get as big or as far as the second to that band. My only advice to those bands is be authentic to you. Sing about the things you want to sing about. Hang out with your friends. Talk as a band. Become a team. Become a family. Stop comparing yourself to other bands. It is unhealthy for the creative space. You should just be. You can obviously take influence. That's fine, but stop comparing yourself. It will kill the creativity in the jam space.
Yeah.
For sure.
When you get a couple of years in, and like, why am I still not the Foo Fighters? Like, well, because you're not the Foo Fighters.
That's right.
You're not being the Foo Fighters.
And I say this strongly from a place of like, I've been there. Ziggy has been my voice of reason from the day one, where I've a bad diva problem. I have a problem where I'll take something and I'll be like, I'll just shoot a bunch of bullshit at him. And he's like, well, this is kind of because you have this expectation that you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have this stupid expectation. You've let yourself down. And that's why I value my relationship with Ziggy so much, is because since day one, he's been that way. He's had no fear to put me in my place. And I feel like that's so important for the creative space, is that you can contribute 100%. It doesn't matter how much each one of us contributes. We all need to take responsibility as a team. And if I'm representing the team, if I'm the person just at the front of the line for this interview or for the next show or whatever, if I just so happen to be the person, the face of whatever we're doing next, I need to be held accountable for the things that I do. And having a team that does that is really good. Here's some things you could do better. Here's some things that you could do better. Yeah. So I think that's good.
Oh, it's
Just saying, I love music.
Very good advice. Certain member of the band that I will not repeat the name of now.
You can say my name.
It's
Fine. I'm already showing up. I'm already showing up.
Oh, did that door just close magically? No.
Yeah, dude. I think the chair behind you is moving.
Oh shit! This is getting paranormal activity type. Be like in the subtitle of this episode. It's like episode 70, talking to Tailor Made Rejects and objects moving around frequently on my camera.
Rocks up at my house.
What it should be, your thumbnail should just be you levitating above a house.
Now, I don't know how far Queensland is from Warragul, but if you can do that however many kilometres away from where I live, that's pretty impressive. I'll
Hey,
give
that's
you
cool. Oh,
full
yeah.
ups for that.
That's cool. Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. You're scaring
You're
me.
fine. Hey, look. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm right after this interview. I'm going straight to bed. I'm very tired. We were filming yesterday, and yeah. Look. I'm so tired. I'm very, very
It's
exhausted.
princess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a princess. Yeah. So I need my grapes and my fan, or I won't be happy.
Oh, fuck. Is it an hour already? That don't
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
We
All
can
right.
chat.
This is what I,
That's
this is
what
what
I'm
I
saying, you
mean
can
by
just talk.
yapping. Yeah, this is why me yap, dude. It's not gonna stop. I will yap until the cows come home. Because I'm a true believer of context. I'm a true
You
believer
stop.
that you can't. I'm doing it again. But I'm a true believer of context. I really truly believe that if I'm going to explain something for the band, I have to provide context respectfully to the things that have happened, so that people aren't questioning, well, why did they make that decision?
He
So
should be a salesman, is what's going on.
I
Don't
was.
work in retail.
Car
Don't do it.
salesman, used car
Yeah, watch
salesman,
it.
Be psychic. Maybe, you know.
medium.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just yap until I get the point. I'll be like, they started with them. Yeah. So I'll be like, nah.
Just have a thing on your card, you know, your business card that says, I help objects move, that if you want to hit someone with.
Oh my god, dude. You know what? I'm gonna create cards that are just rejects cards. Singer of the Tailor Made Rejects, little writing, also a psychic.
See how many people notice?
Yeah.
Tailor Made Rejects Psychic. Nah,
Yeah.
I think keep the 3-word name.
Tailor Made Psychic.
Yeah, Tailor Made
Tailor Made Psychic.
Psychic Rejects.
Oh, man.
Oh,
We'll
we
keep it
could.
in mind for the next record, man.
I'm giving you ideas already. That's a worry.
Yeah. Lovely stuff.
So what does 2026 hold in store for the band? Even though we're nearly halfway through, crazy that.
Oh. We've got a couple of like shows coming up. So obviously, as we said, we've just signed to X Music, and then we've just jumped on their 4-year birthday show with
I think it's 5 years.
Oh, 5 years?
Fifth year anniversary, yeah.
Don't tell Tim. 5-year anniversary with like Delicomo, Rake the Hate, Sliver, who we love dearly, Sound Affliction, and then us. That's like next Sunday, and then after that we're doing Where We Belong Festival. I think that's what it's called. With Screaming Jets and Pricey and Large Margin, a whole bunch of other amazing artists from Brisbane. Then after that, we've got a show that hasn't been announced, and I won't do that to Amy. And then after that, I think we're just going to be focusing on the next song.
Yeah.
If we got the time and quote unquote funds.
Yeah, well,
so
it's just a matter of getting in and polishing it up.
the next track is pretty much like the next song that we're going to do is pretty much done. It's already been sort of agreed on what we're doing, and the song is all but finished. So we've got a couple more jams to tighten it up, and throughout all of this year, our focus is going to be, I guess, trying to get the next release done. We want to definitely capitalize on the success of Face of Adversity and keep building from that for sure. But yeah, we do have a lot of commitments that we got to do. So our focus is going to be committing to those, because keeping our relationship strong with promoters is very important to us. I also want to take a chance to shout out Shane, who consistently looks out for us for shows and things. He has us on pretty much every Rockers Not Dead. So this is a big shout out to the Rockers Not Dead crew and Shane Dunn, another person that deserves credit for partially the Reject success. Yeah, we have commitments to people like that who we want to commit to, and when we make the commitments to people, we try our best to follow through the best way we can. So yeah, big shout out to Shane, big shout out to Tim.
shouting out.
Yeah.
We have a
second half
bunch
of the
of
year, we don't
really
really
cool
have much.
songs coming up too, though, that we're working on.
Yeah, Jesse and Ryan have spent a lot of time just like bunkering down, demoing out a lot of stuff, which is great for us on the other end, where those two can get together for a day, jam it out, record it out, and then they'll send it to us, and we'll get a chance to listen to it before we get to the jam room and It lets Val and I kind of digest a little bit, but also I do love like getting into the jam room and be like, this is a new song, and I'm just off the cuff, just like how we do this.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like the best way we work now is Jesse and I figuring out the skeleton, because I mean, all bands will do things differently, and we've tried different ways of doing it where the four of us just start, hey, throw a riff out and then we'll do it. There's too much creative noise to start that way. I think the best thing is that somebody brings an idea in that is somewhat formed. So Jesse will bring like an actually formed riff from like intro to verse to chorus. Val or Zig will have an idea for like a topic or like, you know, riff or something. Or I'll bring a skeleton in for a song, and then we build from there. We go, is this a workable song? And a lot of people don't realize that songs die on the operating table more than you'd realize. Like, we've probably written 300 songs that just will never be released because they just aren't good enough in our eyes. They're not representative enough of what we are as creatives. So it's got to go through a lot of chops and changes before we're, as a team, happy with it to move forward. Where we've got that now with this next song. We're there with this next song.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where it's like, this song is great, however, is this better than this one?
Yeah.
Or is this evolving from what we've already got as well as another thing? And it's just, if it's not the case, then we just got to get rid of it.
Yeah. Brett, come forward a little bit, Val. Come forward a little bit. Yeah, we can't hear. You can't. What were you saying?
Like, the other thing as well is sometimes, like, I know, especially when like I come around with things, I'll be like, okay, is this a song that's better off in my mate's band, in my other band, Zach with Custard as well? Sometimes there'll be bits and it's like, this isn't Rejects, or this isn't all the other ones.
Yeah,
like,
this isn't Chemical Prisoner or Custard Pony. It's like, there's a lot of times where it's like, this is cool, but not the vibe or the message we want to kind of go with is another thing we kind of take in inspiration.
Yeah.
There's a dichotomy. There's a big dichotomy there too, because although there might be songs that are like very not Rejects that you guys will use for other projects, there's definitely songs in your other projects that I wish were written for the Rejects. So
I'm not getting it.
Val and I have this ongoing. We have an ongoing fight. She has a song that I love. Respect to her. We won't talk about it unless she wants to. But she has a song that is written for Chemical Prisoner that I love very, very much, and I think it'd be a fantastic Reject song. And she won't give it to me. So, yeah, it's so.
It was the first song for that band. I can't do it.
Yeah. Ender as well. It's just
we finished on it. It's
It's just such a kick-ass song, and just a credit to like. Yeah, you know, when Cam's ready to go public, like, you guys are really going to see how and why Val is what she is. Like, she is such a weapon in that creative space, and to have her front and you know, be the sole writer in a project, like it's going to be amazing. I'm very excited for what Cam's going to be doing, and this song in particular is going to piss me off because I like it so much. I wish I wrote it.
He'll do it to me sometimes where we'll be playing, is it Stronger?
Yeah.
Stronger.
And there's like the quiet bit and we're playing it live, and then he'll just slip in the riff, and I'm like,
I'm just start playing the
do
riff
it
of the
on
song.
stage.
Yeah. It upsets me that it upsets me how talented you are and how you didn't give that song to me.
I'm just a little guy. Just a little guy, man.
Very upsetting. So yeah, that's the dichotomy of working with talented people. Sometimes they don't give you all of their good stuff.
Dare you?
How dare you? Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh, all right. What first made you, individually, what first made you want to become a musician and be in a band, or bands in some cases?
I feel like Jesse can start this one. He's been quiet. I'm going to put him in the forefront.
I remember being like 10 years old and listening to music with my uncles and just being like, this is fucking awesome. I want to do this. And then I got to a point where I was a teenager and had a family member sit me down and go, I've noticed you're starting to listen to some cooler music. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, all right, so I'm going to put on Black Sabbath's first album. You're going to listen through and we're going to go through a timeline. So he gave me like music history lessons and ran me through everything. So it's just like looking up videos of all these old performances from the songs that I'd heard and that, and I was just like, this is pretty fucking cool. I think I'm gonna learn to play guitar and
Thank God. Thank God. Thank God, bro. Because it could have gone sideways for you. You could have been like a milkman or some shit. I'm not. God damn, dude. Yeah. So shout out to the milkman out there. No hate, but I'm just glad Jesse isn't one.
Val, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. I'll keep mine as short and sweet as I possibly can because I've got a colorful past. I actually started out as a classical musician on violin. And I was doing that for ages. Like I was doing that, then I jumped to piano, like also from like not great families. So the school was like, I'll pay for you. And I was like, I love you guys. And then yeah, come sort of teen years, I was like, oh, I sort of want to make a shift. Had some really terrible experiences that I won't get into. And like I'd already enjoyed heavy music since I was a super young kid. My dad got me on everything that was on my OG MP3 player. I love that thing. And then yeah, I sort of I came across Guitar Hero. And I wasn't allowed to use any technology really growing up. And then yeah, I came across Guitar Hero and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And I just every day, like, get home from school, do my homework, do Guitar Hero. School holidays, 6 weeks of Guitar Hero. And I was like, there's a guitar in my house. I love how it sounded like absolute dog shit. But I was like, I'll give it a go. And then I was like an acoustic musician for quite a while doing busking. This was also well and truly before COVID. So people had cash like crazy. And that was my sole income for a lot of time. And I'd learned bass a little bit between things. And then, yeah, I then went to do part of my degree. And I was like, why does everyone not play bass? This is so weird. Like, I'll just do that in my degree. I already play it a bit. I'd already filled in on bass for years for mates' bands. And then, yeah, did my degree in that. And then here we are. as quick and short as I can make it.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
You?
Pretty much my entire family's pretty musical. So I got 3 older sisters, and all 3 of them do play an instrument. So like my oldest plays pretty much every single size of the violin and ended with cello. My second oldest plays pretty much every size of the trumpet, except trombone because she's a short ass and can't get her arms out. And also is like a full-on classical trained pianist.
Nerds.
And then my other sister plays trumpet as well and a little bit of piano. And then I grew up playing clarinet for a while because I wanted to play the saxophone by the end of it. So my grandmother was like, we have a clarinet. And then, because it was my grandfather's, and I learnt that. And then I got to high school, and then I was like, I'm going to learn guitar. Sucked at guitar. I'm going to learn bass. Sucked at bass. And then I think it was like year 9 or something, and we were doing year 9 music. It was like, we're going to learn the drums. And I was like, cool. And then my teacher's like, you should stick with this.
Thank God. Another thank God moment. Another thank God moment. Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, this is you. And then like from year, no, it would have been year 8. And then year 8 onwards, it was just like high school band after high school band. So it was in like, and we had like some stupid names. So my first one was Never Taste the Chemicals, which now I am, too late now. Another one was
Lord, bro.
What was it? Swiss Army Giraffe, which was stupid. And then we had Chaosless Control, which was like the one that did pretty well.
They're banging.
Yeah, we did pretty well. We did some weird stuff. Like we had our ender song was like the riff of Smells Like Teen Spirit. We kind of looped it, and you can chuck any rap lyric over it because it's the exact like hip hop beat. And it works for any rap song, no matter what. And it was always like killer because our singer he had a little bit of a structure, but then he would just have a moment in the song where it's like, I'm choosing like the biggest rap song at the time. And he would just do it. And it was the coolest fucking thing. And in that band as well, we also had we had a song that used like an electric ukulele, so we did that. But then there was also times where he'd bring that out and everyone would be like, play Killing the Name Of. So we learned Killing the Name Of with a ukulele, and it was hard as fuck. And people loved it. And like like we were not even 18, and we were playing with like big Goldie bands like Double I Minority, the dudes from, I don't remember their name, but a couple other like hardcore dudes would usually end the night, and we would just be this little band from Wynnum playing these weird whack songs as like a free 4-piece, which is pretty fun. And then, yeah, I went from that to Tim Sparks Fire to Stone Fox, and now Rejects, or the Ryan Valley Project.
Fuck off.
And now
So-
Chemical Prisoner and Custom Pony.
Yeah. And drummers are whores anyway, so you know the history is the 50
options
bands.
open.
Fuck off. Close those options up now, motherfucker. I'm sick of hearing it. Look, the Rockstar, I got two answers for this, the Rockstar answer and the real answer. The Rockstar answer is I sort of didn't like heavy metal. I wasn't really a big fan of it. I literally just learned how to play and sing guitar so I could get laid at parties. That was really, I would whip out the guitar and sing to the honeys and they would fall apart. So that was, for me as a kid, I was like, I just go to party to play guitar and get laid. That was the whole point. And then I kind of started like, oh, maybe I'm sort of good at this. Maybe is it just like a tool to like talk to girls, because I was just awkward socially. So I was like, maybe I can work on that part of me separately to music. And then I started this journey with like acoustic guitar. I started writing and I was like, oh, maybe covers suck. Maybe I can do this. And so I started writing music acoustically. And then I started forming bands, and like, you know, one thing led to another. It just didn't really work out for me, but I wasn't really into the heavy metal rock thing. I just wanted to do acoustic music, kind of like Ed Sheeran-y stuff. That's where my career would have gone had I not met Jesse. Because
Thank
before
God.
Jesse hit me with a thank God. Great callback, Mel. Yeah, so I was trying to do this Ed Sheeran thing. I was trying to do like an acoustic thing that I thought was really cool. I was busking. I was getting a lot of rep for it, but there was still something creatively missing there. And then when I started jamming with Jesse in like late 2010s, 11s, it was fucking ages ago. I found a piece of myself, I guess, that I was sort of missing, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of shit going on inside that I have never gotten out before, and this is the perfect platform to do that. And so my love for heavy metal, Jesse really introduced me very slowly into like, you can sing beautifully and like Ed Sheeran, but you can do that in a metal band, and this is kind of like what I want to do. And again, this is a huge credit to Jesse. Like, very early on gave me a shot in a way that like not a lot of people were smart enough to do. And he was my age, if not younger. I think you're younger than me, Jesse. And was still so open-minded musically and creatively, where it was like, let's create these layers and make that a thing. And then from there, from that initial concept of like heavy music, beautiful singing, I found my love, the true love that I was always sort of looking for in music. And that really came from the birth of what we did in Relic. And then, yeah, just learning from people over the years. I think music has opened a lot of doors for me, as it did when I was younger. Socially, it's opened doors for me, like financially. It's opened doors for me in business ways. It's opened doors for me in ways where I probably wouldn't know the people that I'm in this interview with if it wasn't for music. So I'm very, very grateful to have the people here in my life, and I have music to thank for that. So I'm glad that that's the journey I went on, for sure.
Well, I'm not in a band, obviously, but sort of my journey into this is, it was first started when I used to do community radio in Druin, in Gippsland, where I live, and then COVID happened, and that sucked. I think we can all attest to that. Then came the realization that I couldn't do my radio show anymore. What was the next best thing to do? Podcasting, because it's the way of the future. Like, you think of, Joe Rogan and all the other podcasts you see on YouTube, on Spotify, and that, it's just so. Everyone likes to listen to podcasts, whatever the topic may be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
a mate did one and he said, "Oh, you should give it a try." So I did it once. I'm like, I'll give it another week or two, see if I enjoy it. Did another one, and then from that day on, I haven't looked back.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, just persistent, just kept
Yeah.
like, I'm doing it, and just
Because
wholeheartedly.
I mean, with anything you do, persistence is key. Persistence is key. You said this is episode 70?
70 for the YouTube one, yes.
Dude, round of applause for Sam right now. Can we please get a round of applause for Sam? 70 fucking episodes, bro. Let's just take a
Well
moment to
done.
really appreciate how consistent and how amazing that is, because we don't even have 70 songs out. You've done more episodes than we have songs. And like, so big credit to you. I think persistence is key. It takes one thing to pop off, and then your entire catalog of things becomes popular. So the way I look at it, it's kind of like streaming for myself now. I'm now doing Twitch. That's Ryan Valley on Twitch. Anybody that wants to come see me game and just do fun stuff on Twitch, that's what I'm doing. I've had Jesse on the episode. I'm gonna have Val and Zig. But for me, it's just games. It's just games and talking and having fun. What I've learned is that while I'm posting like shorts and things to try and like build my Twitch up, it's all about consistency. Because one day there's nothing, right? I'll have maybe 5 viewers and my videos get no views, right? On Friday, for example, I thought it was going to be a nothing show. I got 30 gift subs and there was like 40 people there watching the show. It was great. It was fantastic. So it's all about consistency, because it takes one show to pop off and people start realizing like, oh, this is a form of content that I could get really into. And then they start going through your old catalog. So yeah, just credit to you, Sam. 70 episodes is that's nothing to shake a stick at, bro. That's huge.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Something like podcast, man, like that's a lot of preparation.
Yeah.
You got to do a lot of research in that, and that's
You know, my biggest fear would be if I did a podcast, if I hated the person I was talking to. Like, I got in a conversation with him, or with them, I should say, and like 5 minutes in, I'm like, oh, this guy is a dickhead. I do not want to talk to this guy. And then you're locked in for another like hour or two, and you're like, God damn, what have I got?
Luckily, they can talk for themselves most of the interview. Usually, when you meet people like that.
Have you met Ryan? Ryan can't help.
Dude, I'm a yapper, bro. I'm a yapper. It's a credit. It's to a fault. All right.
Like a little white dog.
Yeah.
And it's been asked before, have I had any awkward interviews or parts where I'm sort of like nervous and all that? And I've got to be honest, in all the interviews I've done, I've never had an awkward conversation with anyone, because I felt like and this is going to sound strange to a lot of people, because I'm sure people would rather interview people they have known their whole life over a stranger. But I think it's the fact that when you talk to someone you haven't met in person or barely know anything about, it's just goes with the flow. Like, I feel tonight, like, yes, I've spoken to Zak through Messenger and that, but we haven't actually met in person. But
Nah.
there's less pressure when it's someone you don't know. It's weird, I know, but
no, it's like performing. It's the exact same. You perform to like your close mates, and you're like, oh, don't look at me. Just randoms, you're like, I don't know who they are. I don't care what they think.
Yeah, I agree. Like, performing in front of like 1,000 people is easier than performing in front of 10.
Yeah.
I literally could not agree more. I could not agree more.
Yeah. And it's weird. There was actually a show in one of my other bands, Custard Tony. We were playing at Cave-In, and we cleared the place. We were like at the end, like it was a Sunday afternoon, and we just watched people get up and leave, and we were like cackling at the end of it, going, well, it is what it is. We'll deal with it. And then we got off, and everyone's like, that was really, like, the people who were there, they thought we were really good, and we're like, yeah, it was good. And I was like, why did everyone get up and leave? It was like,
yeah.
We just
Got their cup of tea.
we just filtered out the people who did like us. And we always just took the positive in it. But as a group, when you're on stage, you just gotta like embrace it. It's like, it is what it is. Kevin's gone a couple of times where we're like Greasy, you'll look down and you go, oh, there's no one here except for my parents. Hell yeah. Let's
And
be
that's
silly.
it. It's consistency, and consistency isn't. It's not a guarantee that you'll continue moving forward. Consistency is a roller coaster. It's like
Yeah.
one day you'll have like a room of 3,000 people that you're playing to that you've never met before. Then literally weeks later you'll be playing in front of 20 people, and like the dichotomy that can really fuck with somebody. It definitely has with me many times, and this is once again a credit to the team that I have right now and the people that have supported me through this journey. Is that we've gone from very big like milestone shows back to playing pubs, and that's tough because you think things only just move forward, and it's a big learning curve to realize that some episodes, for example, you might pop off, you might get tens of thousands of views, and then the very next one 2 views, and you're like, well, what did I do? Where are all those tens of thousands of people? Things just happen that way sometimes the algorithm just picks you up and snatches you, and you get all that attention. Sometimes a promoter needs you to jump on a really big show just short notice, and they know they can trust you, and then you've got to have the sensibility to not let that change how you feel about your art, because consistency is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do you ever feel with those smaller shows as well that like if there's like less than 10 people in there and you don't know any of them and you speak to at least one or two of them, those people will keep rocking up because you've just kind of
sure.
like in a way made their night.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like,
Like, yeah, you get those fans that are there when there's nothing happening, and then you're like, I like you.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly it. Like those
Okay.
little 1%ers that start off that there from the start, they make your career. Like even
Yeah.
back when I did a diploma in music business, like that was one thing our lecturer said was if you can get 10 like avid fans that give you $100 a week, a month, that's $1,000 a month. Okay,
Yeah.
how do we get more than that? How do we get another 10, another 10?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you got to look at it and go, did I make one super fan this month? Yes, I did. Sweet, that's a success. Let's move to the next one. I made one extra person coming to my stream or one extra listener on my podcast. It's like, sweet. Again, even like going back to when you heard, well, also on Mondays, it's like, cool, there's one person that goes, this song is interesting or the name's interesting. I'm going to stick with that. And that one extra person is better than someone who just randomly come across it and didn't even notice the song came and went. Yeah.
For sure.
And also remembering that like your stats aren't necessarily your markers for success. Like coming full all the way back to like your progress is progress no matter what.
Yeah.
Every time you make something that's valuable,
For sure.
regardless of like external input and this and this. It's pretty cool that we get to be creative people. Like
It's awesome.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
And no matter how many people like it and react and this, and this, you're doing it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that's the dream. We're living the dream.
You're doing
Yeah.
it. You're doing it for 6 years and 79
yeah.
episodes. That's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing. I mean, as a creative, to echo kind of what Val's saying, as a creative, you have to be willing to put yourself out there and suck for a bit. Like, so you have to be willing to publicly just have no attention and other people to witness you. Because it's funny when you are coming out and doing something for the first time, you'll have more people looking at you not getting attention than you will have getting attention, which is the craziest meta of like starting something. You just have to sort of be okay with being the loud one, the obnoxious one, the one that's putting something out there to the group, and see what happens. And the thing is with consistency, the key to consistency and why it's important to be consistent and continue posting, let your art speak for itself, is because eventually, it's happened to all of us, we'll see something, we're like, oh my God, dude, I see this guy in the news all the time. It's always on a story. I see this band all the time. Fuck it, I'll check out a song, right? That's
And then you're like, oh my God.
And you're like, I've slept on this band for so long. I've said no so long. I'm so stupid. And it takes one person from your circle to go, hey, check them out. Or you to go, man, I'm so sick of seeing this. I'll just check it out so my algorithm goes away. And then now they're your favorite band. That's the key to consistency. It's just putting yourself there.
I think that's how I got to you, Sam. Like Brian said, like your name kept popping up a lot, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna check this out now. Like, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. This is also my kind of thing. Like, I am a huge podcaster listener. I listen to podcasts more than I listen to music these days, and like music podcasts are great. I listen to a lot of footy podcasts. To her detriment, she hates it. She's like, "Oh, we'll chat after this podcast." So I'm like, "This is a 4-hour podcast."
Oh,
It's
jeez.
more-
4 hours, I
Yeah.
hope.
But yeah, it's
We're
like
talking
the
tomorrow.
consistency is what you start seeing the name more and more, and you're like, okay, I've got to give this a shot, or I'll watch this video, or I'll listen to this podcast. And I was like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think one of the ones that I really was like, yeah, I want to be on this is when you posted like your playlist stuff, Sam, and I was like, I love all these. A lot of these bands are fucking sick, or friends of ours, and the podcast, the not podcast, the playlist is like, this is a ripper of a playlist.
They
Yeah.
do seem to go on a while. I love how people say when you post a playlist, there's a see more about 7 times, and
Yeah.
and
Hey,
now
dude. Fuck all that. Post as many songs as you want. You're allowed to love as hard as you want to love, dude.
Yeah.
Love as much as you
Yeah.
want. Never limit your love because someone else says, "Oh, I don't want to click a button." Fuck you, man. Click the button. These are my favorite bands. So
Make a post, type see more.
yeah, call the playlist Seymour.
see
Got 'em up.
more. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because if you look, our sub, like underneath Tailor Made Rejects, our subheading is always since day one, literally since we started it. It's if you can't what is it? If you can't join them, beat them. Because the saying usually is if you can't beat them, join them. Well, if you can't beat them, join them. If you can't join them, beat their ass. All right,
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. If you're a
yeah,
reject and you can't join them because they won't let you because they've kicked you out, screw it, beat them. Beat them. Go in with vengeance.
Yeah.
Do better.
Yeah, that's it. So you love as much as you want, man, and you post as many songs as you want. Screw everybody else. Yeah.
Well, Tailor Made Rejects are one of, I think, 50 bands tomorrow that will feature on both the Countdown playlist and also the weekly local bands and artists Spotify playlist because,
Hell yeah.
yeah, so I am actually going to post a Countdown playlist because I did put the bands, but it didn't actually put what songs by the band. So I'm going to work on that. It might be, some different songs to what normally is put on a playlist, but it's still
Yep.
going to be, just showing the people out there, check out Tailor Made Rejects, check
Yeah.
out these bands.
You know what it is, man? It's kind of, if I were to see that as like, let's say we weren't doing this interview and I were to see that as just a listener, somebody, what that to me would tell me is that this is an inside to your brain, not just your work, but the things that you enjoy. And I think that's why it's important to have as much on there as you want. You shouldn't limit yourself to like, oh, I'll just put as much on there so there's no more Seymour. Like you pack those fucking playlists, man. Pack them out because that sort of stuff makes me so interested to go, what is Sam like? If Sam's willing to sit and talk to a band for 2 hours, what type of music does he listen to? That's interesting to me. Yeah.
Talk to a band for 2 hours and it feels like 2 fucking minutes. That's
Yeah.
what it literally has felt like tonight.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the nicest way
No,
possible too.
we get that way in the jam space too. I think it's the electricity of this team, man. I think when it's singly, I don't know, but like because people don't really like me by myself, but when I get with the group, they tend to. And yeah, I definitely need a filter. And these guys are they're a great filter. So, yeah, no, it's such an electric team. So, and it's just great to talk to you, Sam. You're a cool guy. I feel like I want to open up about my life.
I
That's
feel
a separate
like
podcast.
Separate podcast, Ryan. Separate podcast.
All right, guys. There you go. Thank you, great filters.
I feel like I want part 2. I want an interview again with Tailor Made Rejects somewhere
yeah,
down
man.
the track because I've loved this as much as any other interview I've done.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
We'll definitely do that.
I had a dinner on tonight. I had a thing, and I said to Zig, I said, like, do you reckon you could take the interview tonight? Because we do a lot of press stuff, and unfortunately, I double booked myself without realizing. And Zig, I'm so grateful. I'll say it on air. I'm so grateful you told me, pull your fucking socks up, pull your head in, get on this fucking interview because it's been really great talking to you, Sam. I'm very glad that this was the choice we made tonight for sure. I'm glad I did not miss this. I would have been very devastated.
Yeah,
It's fun, Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, now I feel like we've talked about a whole heap, and there's been questions that have been asked, but there's been a lot of questions answered without the actual question being asked, which always seems to happen. Not that I have an issue with it. I think it's great when it flows like that.
Yeah.
The last question, and it's a difficult one, why do I always leave it till the end, is where do you see Tailor Made Rejects in 5 years' time?
Wembley.
Wembley. Yeah, that's a great answer. Where I hope to see Rejects in the next 5 years. This answer has changed in the last 5 years. Asking me right now where I would see Rejects in the next 5 years, the truth is, I don't care where we are as long as we're together. And that is the real answer. I hope
Yeah.
that in the next 5 years, whether we are playing Rock AM Ring in front of 50,000 people, or we're playing Greaser in front of our mum and dad, I hope that is with these three other people. That's where I hope to be in the next 5 years, because this is the last team I'm going to do this shit with. So, real answer, in the next 5 years, it's this team or nothing.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought you were going to say the moon. Anyway.
Well, you never know. We might be,
Yeah.
Guitar Hero taught us anything. We can do
Hey.
gigs on the moon, maybe.
Yeah, dude, playing on the moon would be the fucking dream. Let's be honest, the silly answer, but the
I don't know if we can hit, but like,
That's what Muse needs to. That's what Muse is trying to do.
dude,
We could
I
beat
would
Muse to
love,
the moon. That'd be a pretty big achievement.
dude, fuck Muse. I want to be the first man to play on the moon. No, I'm kidding. I take that back, Muse. I'm so sorry. I love you guys.
please.
Please, no, seriously, we definitely want to play on the moon.
Yeah.
That'd be so fucking dope. That'd be
I
cool.
We'll
do
open for
genuinely-
Muse on the moon.
Even better. Thank you, Muse.
I do genuinely think, like, with the trajectory that we're on at the moment, to be like consistently touring, I do think is not outside the land of possibilities. Whether
Yeah.
it's touring like Oz or like outside of Oz, we've already done a few interstate things. I do think it's completely reasonable. Like, if we keep on this track and if this keeps going, touring more definitely looks well and truly possible. I think it's just going to depend on less so whether we're working together, because I have no doubt about that, and more so what's the world shifting to in terms of creative media. And that brings up a whole other can of worms, but
True.
like, yeah.
Because we're seeing more and more. I know Val probably doesn't want to get too far into that, but we are seeing more and more like AI things coming out with posters, with even music now, with applications where you can create entire songs in seconds. Like, it's the landscape of music is crazy, and what used to be predictable, where do we see ourselves in 5 years, is so unpredictable now. It's really difficult, and that's why my answer truly is just genuinely, like, with these people, as long as we're doing it together, whether we're struggling or whether we're doing it big, like, I think this is the team. But yeah, no, you're right. It is it.
Shows, like, that's the way.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that you're right as well. Can of worms with the AI stuff, and can of worms with like the landscape of music right now. So maybe part 2 we can get into that for sure. But yeah, I don't want to make this a 5
I'll
hour
be the
podcast.
apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Sam?
Oh, role reversal and the question. I like that.
The deck.
I think just still doing this and still enjoying what I have for the last 70 episodes, which
Good answer.
I felt like I'm enjoying it more than I did 10 months ago. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it 10 months ago, but I was still sort of learning the ropes. Now it's sort of like, all right, how to host a WebEx meeting. I didn't know how to host one.
I've never heard of it
months ago.
before today, so
Yep.
And it's just like, oh, it can't be that hard. Just schedule a meeting, send out the link, and hopefully people can get in, which obviously Tailor Made Rejects have got through, and all the bands have without too much hassle. So, but I think, yeah, and this sounds strange, but the numbers and the subscribers, the views and all that are little to the fact that if the bands are enjoying their time on the podcast and I'm enjoying it, that means more than any number of views watch time subscribers means. As weird as that sounds, it's if I'm enjoying it, if the band's enjoying it, the rest just is a bonus.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And things tend to blossom over time. Like what you're talking about is very much a conversation I've had with myself over years, which is like when you watch someone like you mentioned before, Joe Rogan, or Your Mum's House, which is a big podcast I love, it's a comedy podcast with Tom Segura. Every time they post something, it's like millions of views, right? And you're like, well, why did the thing I post 2 hours ago not get millions of views? I think it's established media. Like these established media have the benefit of having this, and people with these careers that get to walk into these spaces get to have this kind of like established kind of like audience, where yourself and like the Rejects, we are building that established media right now. You're in the process of building that foundation so that one day when
The
you do get to
seedlings.
post, these are the seedlings, and people that are fans of you, people that are fans of us, they will go back. They will go back and they will watch. There may come a time where people watch this interview when the Rejects fucking playing Rock and Ring. They'll be like, oh, this is a time where they spoke to Sam Warner, and we're going to listen to that interview and hold Ryan accountable for all the horrible things he said during this interview.
But he wouldn't shut up.
He just wouldn't shut up, dude.
Oh.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's role reversal while Ryan sort of started it already. So Jesse, Val, and of course Zach have the floor now. So I've
Yeah,
gone
Ryan,
from the.
shut up.
Hopefully Ryan didn't take any of your questions either. Oh, it's
I'm
like
kidding. I'm
that, is
joking.
it?
I'm joking.
Oh, I thought we were friends, Ryan.
No, we are. We definitely are. All right. Bring my cat up there.
Anyway,
I guess what inspired you to start podcasting other than like, obviously wanting to chat to people and just the shifting media? What made it this specifically?
I think again, I hate bringing up COVID, but every time I get this question
time.
asked, it has to be brought up. A lot of my mates had just or were about to start in bands before COVID or during COVID, and I saw the struggles with them because they couldn't play shows, they couldn't jam together, couldn't record music. And it was one message someone posted up on Facebook about, this was at the height of COVID. Love the bands. If you listen to their music, if you share it, if you stream it, tell them you love their music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, maybe I've gone further than that and but
again, love as hard as you want to, like never too much love.
No. And it's just, I think, inspired me because there's so much fucking awesome music in this country at the moment.
Yeah.
It's no longer no offense to Parkways and Northland and that, but they're set in stone what Australia should look like for music. Now we've got Alpha Wolf, we've got Speed, we've got Thornhill and In Heart's Wake and Ocean Sleeper. All these bands about to or are the next big thing in this country.
Yeah, Amel at the moment.
Amel as well. Yeah, they're huge.
Zuko is another one, Brizzy man.
Yeah.
They've been doing a lot of big port slots through Destroyer Lines, and I always find it funny, and I love bringing up Zuko because we met them and it opened for us at a little skate park a couple of years ago before they even got huge.
It's
So,
like,
yeah, it's like they were like kids to us, and we were playing, and they were best before us, and now they're touring the country and feeling the bright side, and I'm like, wow, this is wild.
It's good.
But yeah, really cool. Really, really cool to see. You're right, though. Like, Australia's biggest headline act right now, you would say, is Parkway. And yeah, you got your Amies and your Northland and all them that are very set in stone, and Amel, yeah. but there's been a lot of stagnancy with it as well, and I think that does come down to how you promote those bands and how Australian artists are able to reach out to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Because it is quite difficult.
Well, there's a big sea in the middle.
Yeah, there's a big sea, and it's not easy for Australian artists to go to America or go to Europe or
Do all these things.
Having like a podcast and being on stuff like this is awesome, because it's like, oh, we can just post this online or share this to a different group or whatever, and it may reach to someone in, I don't know, Lithuania or something weird like that. Like,
You're in Lithuania,
represent like and subscribe to Sam's podcast right now. Yeah, no, you're totally right. Like, it's just not bands don't have a chance to really promote themselves, and doing a podcast like this is a great way to do it.
Yeah.
Plus, I guess from your standpoint as well, you get to meet all these bands.
Yeah.
Just the cool part.
Oh.
It's not even a job. It's just like the passion and the hobby that it's something I love doing. I don't care about doing all the preparation. I like doing the preparation and all the behind the scenes stuff. I think it's a lot of fun.
Your homework is quite literally that scene in School of Rock when Jack Black's handing out the albums. You're like, oh no, I have to listen to the single. It's like Ryan with Tristram. He's like, oh no, I have to play this game. Oh, what a shame.
What a dear cat on Ryan's screen.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I'm a cat person. I do love dogs, but I'm always...
Yeah.
That's the reason I got little dogs.
They're basically cats.
They're basically cats.
What's the cat's name, Ryan?
Ryan's muted. Ryan, you muted.
Ryan, we can't hear you.
I unmuted. Sorry, I muted because the cat was biting the mic, and I was like, I don't want him to hear while they're talking. This is Gracie. She's a new kitten of ours. We got her maybe a month ago. She's 13 months old. She is very sweet. She's biting my arm right now, but I promise she's very sweet. She's got a whole. That's a big meal, dude. I don't think you can handle that. she's gonna try to devour my arm here. Just
hello,
how much she likes to
Gracie.
do. Yeah,
Hello.
Gracie's very sweet.
Talked back.
Yeah. Say hi, Gracie. Stop being fucking rude, dude. She's eating food. Sorry, buddy.
All right, Jesse or Zach, any questions?
I'm pretty good. What about you, Jess?
What do you reckon's a perfect album? Something with no bad songs on it.
That's a
Ooh,
great
An unskippable album.
I like that. That's a bit new too. Never been asked it, Jesse. First time.
Ooh, yeah.
Perfect album. Oh, fuck. Yeah, there are a lot of them. Might go with an Aussie and then an international. I think the international for me is Songs for the Deaf by Queens of the Stone Age.
Get your vinyl.
No, I got the other one. I've got like Clockwork on vinyl because I couldn't find Songs for the Deaf. Very good choice.
Dude, insane choice. Insane choice.
Because I'm a massive Queens fan, and then you throw fucking Dave Grohl on there on drums.
Yeah, man.
And then you hear all the stories that came out of that recording studio and how they did things. Just adds another layer to it as well. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Really good
Jesse,
question.
what's yours? Unskippable album.
An Aussie album perfection has to be Carnival, Sound Awake. It's pretty hard to beat that.
Yeah.
I think you just made fans of us all, Sam, because those two answers are really good answers. Those are really good answers. For me, my one quick one. Mine's Blackbird by Alter Bridge. I think that whole album is fucking magnificent from start to finish. There's not a single skippable song on that whole album.
Well, reverse to Jesse. What's your perfect album if you had to choose one?
I'll do the same as you. I'll go. So for international, I think maybe I'll pick something.
Oh, how convenient!
Wow.
Yeah, just fine. Just the ultimate diplomat.
Wow.
The ultimate diplomat. He of course he drops out when he's got to talk about music. He's a fan of everyone. What he was going to say is that he's a big Tailor Made Rejects fan. They're his favorite Australian band. He's been a fan for many years, and now to be a part of the band is a great opportunity, a great honor to work with the great Ryan Valley. It's just
Just.
Oh man.
Oh,
where is he?
Oh, hang on.
Lol.
I think his girlfriend might have cut the internet off him because she was getting sick of him just chilling out with the band too much.
Oh man.
Oh,
I was whipping him the cord.
oh.
Poor Jesse.
That's a real good question.
Yeah,
It's a great
I-
question. I'm
yeah.
glad he asked it. I'm just.
Yeah. Too bad he's gone.
He's gone. I can easily jump in. I got like
What's yours?
my non-Australian one is Avenged Sevenfold self-titled. I think that's like
Oh
flawless.
yeah, dude.
I've always loved that album. Every single time we get into the studio, and which is why I love Chris, I'm like, that's the sound of drums I want, is the Rebs drums on that. And then my Australian one is Kick by NXS. I think every song on that is perfect.
Dude, another two amazing answers.
Yeah,
Man.
Kick is. I've got the self-titled on vinyl, but Kick is one I want to track down now as well. Another one as well, which I'm trying to track down, which I also think is unskippable, which is like a bop from start to finish, is I Am by Earth, Wind and Fire. That's a great album.
I love that fucking album, dude. I love that album.
So good.
They're bonding.
The bonding. We've never no.
Jack and I have never had a discussion outside of the jam room.
Yeah. No, it's really funny. Me and my friend Callum, we want to do a podcast. We've been saying this for years, but we've never gotten around or have the time. But the idea is we both give each other an album that, like, he's from a theater background, and I'm obviously from a band and rock background. We give each other an album to listen to from start to finish, and then we like dissect it and like break it down and like what we think is good about it, what we got out of it, and then we kind of like rank it to ourselves, like between the podcast. Like, I would rather this album over that one, and kind of like at the end of it have like a definitive like top 100 or something albums that we all choose from. And we've done it we've been sending albums back and forth for years, but we wanted to do that recently. And he'll send like some, like he sent Tyler the Creator to me, and I was like, this is actually like a really good album. And not just like individual songs as well. Like, there's some songs that are great, but does it conceptually work as a whole album is something we want to talk about. Because like the art of building an album, we feel is kind of a little lost for some, which is again ties back to how like we build a set. But I'm a big fan of like an album start to finish and curated, and
just chuck it. I wrote this in this or whatever.
Yeah.
So some of the hardest discussions we've had in the jam space are, how do we form this album? What songs go where? And like, I'll always come up with an idea. Zig will come with an idea, and mine will be very much like, oh, I just sort of like how this song goes into this song, and then how this song goes into this song. Where like Val and Zig, they'll come from a perspective of like, this is how you tell a story with these songs that were never meant to tell a larger story. This is how you tell a story with this song leading into this song, leading into this song. And hearing Zig talk about that just then kind of now makes me understand why you're so passionate about choosing the form of where the songs go on the album. That makes a lot of sense to me now.
Yeah, like everything's got to kind of make sense and cohesive, and it's not necessarily like put all your great songs at the start. It's like, that's whatever. It's like, if you put all your great songs at the start, no one's listening to track 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, if you're in like driving in your car and you chucked on that album start to finish, what's the journey you're personally taking with this album?
For sure.
And like I'm also like a big Robbie Williams fan, and I've always said this, and Robbie Williams' albums suck. He has got great songs, but every album sucks because they're not in a good order. You listen to anyone start to finish, and they are just janky to me. It's really funny.
Which is probably why you built a passionate. Yeah. So real quick update on Jesse. His power went out.
Oh no!
I think he stuck a fork into a socket while he was talking to us, and power went out. He did say he was very passionate about answering that question. So he does have 2 answers. So his international answer is "Purple Rain" by Prince. Great album.
Great choice.
Good choice.
Great choice. And then his Australian album is Themata by Carnival.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
What an album!
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, like I have known about Carnival for a long time, but when Jesse joined the band, he brought with him a lot of influences from Carnival and from 3 Days Grace and things like that. So I've now been more accustomed to listening to them more on the regular, and so that does sort of power the influence for how we riff and how we do things creatively with Jesse. So really good picks from him as well.
Yeah, great picks.
Mine is probably Themata by Carnival as well. I hate to be cheese and back off Jesse, but mine is probably Themata from Carnival as well on the Australian end. But my international end is easily Blackbird by Alter Bridge. I think that album for me kind of like says it all. That album is, if you really want to know what we're talking about or how an album is formed perfectly, for me, Blackbird has a conversation with its audience that really just climaxes in a way that you're just not emotionally ready for. Fantastic
Yeah,
album.
actually. So I just had to look that album up. I'm like, oh yeah, I can hear it from start to finish as I'm just looking at the track list. I agree. Like this album's pretty perfect.
It's fucking fantastic, man. It's nonstop, just emotional roller coaster, just consistently keeping you gripped.
There's the other album that you've actually showed me way back when, because I don't remember what we were doing, but I remember asking Ryan, Alex, and Nathan, being like, chuck me an album, like I want to hear what you would throw to me. So you threw me The Last Hero by Alter Bridge, and that was like the first wave that I kind of listened to Alter Bridge, was this album with like My Champion, Cradle to the Grave.
Also another fucking fantastic
Like
album. Man.
that album is so perfectly laid out, and it's really funny. And the reason why I like asking that when we started was like I got a sense of direction and what everyone's tastes were.
Yeah.
So you gave me Alter Bridge, and I was also listening to a lot of like Slash and Miles Kennedy at the time as well.
Yeah. Which is, to be fair, like a lot of our earlier stuff, Faded Colors and stuff, very Slash and Miles.
Very Slash and Miles Kennedy.
So the fact that you took what we were saying and then like turned that into how you would approach the songwriting process was really magical.
Yeah, it gave me a bit of like context as well. So like Nathan gave me a lot of like Sabaton, and then we went from Sabaton to Trivium and a bunch of other stuff. Like him and I just kept throwing albums at each other for ages.
Nathan's a music guy. I think his blood just runs music, like
He
shards
does.
of CDs.
And Alex, lo and behold, never gave me an album.
Yep, because Alex is Alex.
You know, in hindsight,
kind of makes sense. The guy never listened to a song in his life.
Yeah.
No boys. No boys.
But yeah, no, I like to like listen to that, get a feel of where you want to go. So then I like to rip, you know, not that I don't write my own drum parts, but I like to go, I'm going to take that idea from this artist and put it here. And I hear something and I go, how can I replicate that myself? And then like I'll keep these like little drum riffs in my own little pocket, which is great because I got free bands, so I can whip out some random crap in other bands. And
the safe word we use is inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration. For legal purposes, inspiration.
Yeah.
So it's actually really funny. Everyone asks me like, "Oh, what's the weirdest rip you've done?" And I'll say this, and I think I've told you this, Ryan, as well. I ripped. There's like the halftime bit in Taylor Swift's Red that she does in a random part of the song, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna rip that, and I ripped that, and that's the second half of the chorus for Fading. Right. Halftime.
Yeah, nice.
So whenever
I'll have to now listen to those two. But you know what's funny with Fading? I hate to say this live, but with Fading Colors, actually, you know what? I feel like I might be this might be a problem. I'm going to save that maybe for part two. Remind me, there's a tidbit for Fading Colors that I almost just said without thinking about if I should say it or not. For legal purposes. Yeah. So
yeah.
Lol.
Maybe part two when I think about it. And check the legalities behind it.
Yeah.
Go.
It's funny with Alter Bridge how I stumbled across Alter Bridge, and I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to WWE wrestling, but it's just theme song Metalingus.
As it clearly, yeah, dude, fucking
chills every time you hear that song.
Yeah. What a guy. There's a good interview. I won't go into it, but there's a good interview with I think it's either Mark Tremonti or Adam Cope, who is Edge, who talks about their experience with aligning together, and that's a really fun interview to watch, where they talk about how Tremonti had this album he was bringing out after Creed, and was friends with Adam, and they spoke, and they decided on the song. It's very cool very cool interview, very cool chat for sure.
That's awesome.
Oh, this is the only part of the interview I'm not a fan of. The end.
Yeah.
Why does it have to end? Like, I keep asking that, but obviously we don't want to go for 5 hours. Obviously,
we could. We definitely could. I also have a problem with like how to end an episode when I do like streams and stuff. Like, how do I like see you later? Like, bye. Like, how do you do it?
I really enjoy wrap ups, actually, weirdly enough, as a basis. Like, I like the art of putting to nice clothes, like, all right, in summary, blah, blah, blah. Like, every time I finish a phone call with someone, I'll be like, how's your day? Especially if it's with mates and stuff. And I'll finish the phone with like a, and I've done it to Ryan a couple of times, and he's started doing it back to me. I'll be like,
Yeah.
But I like the sort of summary recap part of it, because I'm like, oh yeah, we spoke about this, we spoke about this. Like, I hate the ending part, but I love the like recap conclusion. It feels like a
well, in conclusion, I have loved talking to Sam today, and I've had a great time being on this show. Thank you for having us, and thank you for having all of the rejects. It is a very rare for all of us to appear at once. You are one of maybe two people. This might be one of the first interviews for all 4 of us. I don't think
I've been on any of the prior interviews because I work so late a lot of the time.
Yeah. And we just have schedules, and sometimes like exhaustion, we double book and things like that. It's just sometimes we just like, all right, you take this press, I'll take the next press. Like, we just sort of work that way. So it's very rare we all come together. But Zig made it very clear we all need to be present for this one. It was like one that he was really invested in. So we did it for the love of the game. And of course, God had to intervene and ruin that for Jesse, but he sends his love. He sends his love.
These things happen. I mean, that's what the beauty of technology is. It's great when it wants to work, and then things happen, like a camera turns off. I've had my camera turn off through interviews at times, and that's annoying as hell.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
But thank you to Jesse. I know he's not here, but he was on pretty much 3/4 of the interview anyway, so he's an integral part of this interview. But Ryan, Zak, and Val, it's been an absolute pleasure from Tailor Made Rejects. I've had a ball.
Thank you.
No, that's good.
That's good. Definitely came for part 2. Definitely.
Yeah, we'll do a part 2 eventually. My sort out the other song, and then we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll come back when we have the next song in. We'll give some tidbits. All right, sounds good. Thanks for having us.
We're pretty loyal with a lot of our podcast people. We like to come back every so often, just to go, hey, we're gonna do this.
Hey.
Yeah. And just make sure when you pencil us in next time, Ryan likes to yap, so make sure we leave the window open for him.
So
he's a guest.
In the next.
I've done enough for 2 interviews now. That's what you're getting. No, I'm going.
Whenever Ryan's doing too much, we'll just go, reel it in.
Yeah, reel it in, buddy. Reel it in. You have a sign. Reel it in. Anyway, Sam's been trying to stop this interview the last half an hour, so we're going to let him still.
No, I don't know if it was the last half an hour, was it?
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
But please do check out these legends in Tailor Made Rejects, and check out Face of Adversity, check out Afterthought, everything they've released. It's gold. You guys have the first 7 songs on tomorrow's playlist, including Monday's Face of Adversity. I don't know what else is on there. I need my fucking list in front of me.
It's probably nothing but dope tunes, and we're stoked to be there.
Well, actually, sorry, I'll rephrase that. You're on 2 Spotify playlists that will be posted tomorrow. That was a bit rude of me not to mention the other one.
No, just one, and those who know.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
If you know it.
All right, Sam. I'm gonna sign off, but
Yeah,
big love to everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for having it. Is there an outro that you do?
No. Just
Sam's outro. It's Sam's
put me on
outro.
the spot now. Fuck, I've got to think of an outro.
Do a jingle.
You know,
Progressively
I
do this.
yeah. You know what? I think Val's called it. Let's all just say bye, and then we get See you, Sam. Thank you for having us. I'm signing off.
No worries.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Love ya.